So, Namaste and welcome to Satsang today, this evening here in the UK, whatever time it is for you. So, Satsang is for the direct experience of who we are, not a thinking about, but an actual experiencing of our own real nature, which is that there is only one of us here, one being experiencing itself through many, many forms. And satsang is really to come to not only understand that and not to believe in it or have faith in that, but to actually experience it again and again and to live from that. And so I felt like what I'd really like to spend this time, at least initially, is to do a nice meditation, just to dive into a deeper, more peaceful state in meditation. And the more times we do that, the more we don't quite come back out of it the same. We come out of that meditative place and leave a little bit of our insecurities behind, a little bit of our self-doubt, self-judgment, all of those things behind. So let's get nice and comfy. We'll just meditate for about 20 minutes, maybe slightly longer, maybe slightly less. And you can do this in any position. Best not to lie down unless you have some kind of challenge with sitting upright. Most of us, when we lie down, our brain says it's sleep time. So we want to make sure we experience who we really are and experience it consciously because we are it, but we need to experience it consciously. This formless, open awareness, presence, consciousness, stillness, silence, whatever word um, connects you to that. They're all names for that which has no name. So let's find ourselves a nice, comfy position. And you can do this with your eyes open or closed, whatever feels comfortable for you. And before we start meditating, let's just intend or consciously recognize that we don't need to get anything out of this time. What if this is just a meditation because it feels good? Meditation because it wants to happen. Meditation not to get anywhere or achieve anything. Letting go of any goals and things we need to have happen in the meditation itself. Can we approach meditation as a discovery or an exploration of what is true rather than something on our to-do list that we're just checking off for today? And let's just set this intention that we experience who we really are. And if we've done that already, let's do it again. Just because it's nice to dip into that. And so we'll start by taking a few deep breaths, breathing from the chest and also the belly, fully using all of our lungs. Usually we just kind of breathe up here around the chest area. And at your own pace, and inhaling and exhaling when you're ready, but just a little more consciously. You'll notice it has a very calming effect on the body when we breathe with the fullness of our lungs, not just from the chest, and that our lungs really work like a set of bellows, and air goes in and out. So as you inhale, just gently extending the belly, gently, gently, a tiny little opening in the belly. And then as you exhale, whenever you're ready, a gentle squeeze of the belly, just to expel the last of the air. Just breathing like this for a little while, giving yourself permission to be here, to really be here. And not needing to have anything, we don't need to control the breath, we're just consciously breathing. And just allowing the body to continue breathing this conscious way, just letting it happen. And then we're just going to notice that we're watching the breathing, we're aware of our body breathing. Awareness is here and watching the breathing. And just noticing awareness. You know it's here, and yet can't see it with our eyes. If your eyes are closed right now, you can see that you can't see through your eyes. You know, you're aware. Awareness sees the absence of any visual stimuli. You can see that there's nothing to see. If your eyes are open, you can see that there's something to see. Whatever experience you're having, awareness is seeing it. If your body is hot or cold, or hungry or tired, restless, peaceful, you know it. Awareness knows it. And we're just gently coming back to notice awareness is present. Whatever awareness sees might change. A thought, some words it's hearing, sensations in the body. But the awareness remains the same. Continuous. And we're just going to use any phenomenon that arises to help us investigate ourselves, the awareness. If a thought pops up, you can notice the thought, notice awareness sees the thought. You're aware of that thought. Any sensations in the body, resistance, pain, joy, peace. It's all noticed by awareness. Gently curious about awareness. Where is it? What is it? Whatever phenomenon arises, a thought or an emotion, sensation in the body, a sound in your environment. We're not fighting with it, just noticing it and the awareness that's watching. The coming and going of phenomena help us to recognize awareness that's watching. Where does the awareness stop and the thoughts begin? Where does awareness end and your body begin? And if you get distracted at any point, just whatever is going on in your experience, noticing that awareness is always watching. There can be no experience without you, the awareness, here first. Just awareness. Don't even need to be aware of anything in particular, just awareness. Just here. There is a kind of stillness about awareness. It's just here. It's simply aware. Awareness is the constant background of any experience we have. It is our real nature. Awareness, watching itself. So in a few moments, we will bring the meditation to a close. But as we move into the next section of the satsang, we can still simply be aware. We can use whatever is going on in our experience, whatever we're visually seeing or hearing, to point us back to awareness. And in this way, meditation becomes something we are being rather than something we're doing. Awareness is always here. So whenever you are ready, if you'd like to stretch or take a nice deep breath, or simply remain sitting, that's okay too. So I'm going to read a couple of questions that have been sent in. And if there are any questions, I will open it up for questions here tonight on the session. So this first question says, Dear Helen, hope you can answer my question because I really don't know how to go further with all of this confusion, constant obstacles, and intense anxiety. I had a beautiful life until 3 years ago when I got burnt out. I'm an artist and I always felt that I would become successful with my paintings. But now I can hardly paint. I have strong anxiety every day. I've tried everything, but nothing has helped. 30 years ago, I experienced like an energy coming into my body. After that, I became very anxious and depressed. After a while, things got better, but I always felt that something was holding me back. Then I experienced the same thing 15 years later, when I'd just met my wife, and again, it created havoc in my life. Somehow I managed to get back again, but felt very held back in many areas of my life. I went on to have a nice life with my wife and 2 kids. My career started to fail, and 3 years ago, I was so tired from trying to make my career work and experienced a lot of stress. Again, an energy moved into my body, and the most horrific depression came over me, causing burnout and intense anxiety. Why is this happening to me? I loved my life and painting, but somehow I've not been allowed to enjoy it and to be happy. Now I've run out of money. I seem to have a really low vibration no matter what I try. I can't trust life or God because of what keeps happening to me, no matter my efforts. You say we are here to express fully who we are authentically. That's what I have done and tried most of my life, but it's been sabotaged by something again and again. I feel unfulfilled because I've not been able to live fully and do all the great things I want to do, and I know deep inside I can do. I've also let people down because of my state, including my wife, which is so painful because she was so happy to have found me. Do you know what is happening here? Is there anything I can do? Why is life doing this to me? I want to be that unique, competent, lively being I felt I was born to be. Um, so this is, it feels terrible when it happens, but if we can come to understand why it's happening, we can unblock that energy. When we have a deeper seeing of who we are or living as who we are, and that can come from many places, insight in meditation or satsang, or self-inquiry. It can come just from being burnt out, right? As a separate being. I've hit the wall and I just literally have nowhere else to go. I'm exhausted and depressed. And at that point, paradoxically, we are more open than we've ever been. And we end up feeling as if we have just let go or something. But really what's happened is the seeking, the trying to get somewhere energy of the seeker that's trying to find life, happiness, success, and then eventually truth. And to live like that is dissipating. And that happens, a big surge of life force energy can run up through the body. And you've experienced it a few times now. Because in that openness, the energy is free to move. Energy is always trying to move up the system from the root, down in the genital region, the root chakra, all the way up to the crown on the top of the head. That process gets blocked though because of the beliefs we're holding on to. So all of us have come into this imagined lifetime with this body and with beliefs that we haven't managed to release from the previous lifetime, and desires, unfulfilled desires, some of which you've talked about here. I want to be authentic. I want to be successful. I want to be happy. I want to express this artistic urge and desire that's deeply inside, and for each of us, what we desire is different. But if we could put it into one word, it would be authenticity, right? I want to be the fullest, biggest, most expansive version of my human self, and to live the biggest life from that place of open spaciousness, awareness that we are. So instead of looking, instead of asking, why is life doing this to me? What if this was actually help, but we don't know that it is help? It looks like the opposite. So the moment we begin to experience what we want, some blockage in the system comes up that's related to some belief. And that whatever that belief is going to keep playing out in our life. I can't really get what I want. I start to, and then it stops. I start to again, and then it stops. Or some sense of unworthiness, a deep sense of unworthiness is present for most of us. I really don't actually deserve. There's something fundamentally wrong with me, was the idea that was inside. When my life started to turn really good, the same thing happened. This desire came up for more of it, and then of course this big sense that I don't deserve it, and success isn't really safe for me anyway. This kind of idea was really deeply inside. So instead of life doing this to you, what if this is life asking you to look at the beliefs that are blocking permanent success, permanent happiness, effortless joy, success, abundance, and all of those things, whatever it is that we want. And whenever we're creating something, we are in a very fast flowing energy. It's a very high frequency, that, right? If you're lost in music, you're just listening to beautiful music, or you're painting, or you're cooking a delicious meal and you're so involved in the richness of that. You're allowing this fast flowing energy to move. So these beliefs are going to come up again and again until we look at them. The way to do this is to look at the emotion that we feel and to ask depression or fear or anger, shame, whatever it is we're feeling, sense of unworthiness, and ask it what it wants to tell us. For me, this apathy, this apathetic state, very much that felt like the depression I'd had years before that, came upon me several times, and there was this belief underneath it of there's just no point. I can't have what I want. There's no point even trying. Fear was telling me I'm not safe. It's not safe. I'm in danger, actually. And anger was, again, there's something limiting me, blocking me. I can't get what I want or need in this moment. And those beliefs have to be seen and released before we can have authenticity permanently and joy in the things that we want. So, what emotions do you feel? And what are the beliefs underneath that? We use this technique called contemplation, which is turning that belief into a question and asking it consistently each day, 5 or 10 minutes each day. Is it really true I can't get what I want? Or is it really true I don't deserve to be happy? Or whatever the belief is that comes up. And all answers are equal here in contemplation. And there's plenty of videos here on the YouTube channel to when this gets uploaded to YouTube. There's a playlist just for contemplation. And we did a study session, an in-depth study session on contemplation too. Find the emotion, find the belief, and then question it consistently. You can't believe a thought and question if it's true at the same time. So all that's happening here is these latent ideas that have been sitting there dormant are now so out of alignment with who you've seen yourself to be, who you're living as more and more, that for the full unfolding of that seeing of who you are and living as that, these beliefs are coming up to be examined. If we don't know that, though, and we experience something we don't want, and our life seems to shut down, we'll start to blame ourselves. What am I doing wrong? Why is this pattern coming back up again? The deeper I get in my meditation, the worse my life is getting. And at one point, my life was totally polarized, beautiful states in meditation. The rest of my life was pretty much a disaster until I realized I'm actually seeing my beliefs play out as my experience. I'm experiencing what I really believe to be true inside, but hadn't known was there. Without the mind and body and experience, I wouldn't know what needs to be looked at. So, changing our attitude to this, not that life is punishing us or trying to stop us. Actually, everything is trying to help us in our awakening if we can see what's actually going on. Whatever experience we're having is usually going on, and there's some emotion and there's some belief underneath that emotion that we haven't seen. The experience is a reflection of the emotion and the belief. So I encourage you to dive into that. Most of all, changing your attitude if you can about why this is happening. What if this is happening to help you have effortless, permanent freedom rather than anything else? And it's very, very common. It happens to all of us. It's a very understated part of our awakening. There's a myth in human consciousness that you have a seeing of who you are and suddenly you're done, you know, peace, effortless joy. But actually, there's this intermediary period, which is going on anyway for all of us all the time, where our beliefs that are in contrast with who we really are, this perfect presence, awareness, consciousness that is already exactly as it is and could never not be. This belief I'm not good enough or I'm not safe is in contrast. The body mind frequency goes up and up and up as we see who we are, and this belief is limiting. It's a very low frequency. So it's asking us to take a look at it. And from there, we can transcend it very, very quickly. Okay, I'll just answer one more question here and then I'll come to the hands that are up. Dear Helen, I'm really having an awesome journey with you in this path. So thank you for your amazing insights. It has helped me tremendously in these times. I'm stuck with a severe addiction for a long time. I truly feel this can be a doorway to my true nature. I think I have already read this one. Forgot to delete it. Yeah. Okay. Who or what is listening to the silence? I have some great fun with the listening to the silence meditation. But what always happens when I have some insights, relief, or make some progress, a tremendous falling back into struggle and identification happens the next day. And it's very challenging. Who or what is listening to the silence? Well, there only is the silence. We were calling it awareness in meditation. Silence is listening, right? If you listen right now, you'll hear that your listening is silent. Really listen. What sound does your listening make? Listening hears sounds, but in itself, it's silence, right? That is the silence right there. What always happens when I have some insights, relief, or make some progress, a tremendous falling back into struggle and identification happens. Well, actually, does it really? What happens is I have a deeper seeing, and again, more life force floods the body with that deeper seeing, the body and mind. And then some old thing that's too low in energy has to come up. There's a bigger gap now. Here's where I am vibrationally in the mind and body. The formless silence awareness is not vibrating, but the mind and body are a vibration. And when I think I'm a separate being, I'm here. And here's all these beliefs. I'm not safe. I'm not good enough. As we start to see who we are, the frequency of the body mind gets faster and lighter and higher. And suddenly this gap is just too big. This keeps popping up. Look at me. Please look at me. Please look at me. Please question me. But we think this belief pops up and it reflects in our life. And we start to shut it down. We believe we've done something wrong. Can you be sure that when that struggle happens, that you are identifying again? Identification happens the next day, you said. Really, if you're absolutely honest with me, all you can say is sensation happens in the body, thoughts, emotions, contractions in the body. Do you have any proof that you're identifying with the body? It's a set of phenomenal sensations, right? Thoughts, probably mind goes crazy, emotions happening, and the contracted feeling that we often associate with identification. But what has happened to you, the awareness? Isn't awareness equally here and present? Isn't silence equally listening to the thoughts and the emotions and the contractions as it is to nothing at all? It's listening to itself, silence, or it's listening to the contractions and the emotions and the stories going on. Do you have any evidence that you're identifying with the body? Or is that just a thought? I'm identifying with the body, says a thought. Says a thought, not a person. A thought says, I'm identifying with the body again. It's hugely different, right? The next time that struggle comes up, the contraction, the emotions, the thoughts, what if you can just notice the silence that's listening still? Or the awareness that sees it, sees the struggle? What if you could, when that thought comes up, I'm doing it again, I'm lost in illusion again. It's just a thought. Let that thought come and go like any other thought. Do nothing about it. And watch what happens. You'll find something amazing happens. The whole illusion will just seem to disappear right there in front of you, because when you buy that idea, when you subscribe to the idea that you're identifying again, you have to somehow in your imagination get back out of it again. None of that's actually happening to you. You are the same silence, awareness, consciousness, presence, whether the body is still and peaceful, relaxed, or tight and tense and fearful and contracted. Okay, so we'll go to the hands up. We'll take these 4 hands that are up. That should probably be enough. We'll go with Elaine first of all. When you're ready.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So good to be here with everybody. Yeah. So delicious. So much is happening so quickly, and the tears just don't want to stop. Just gratitude and lightness, just lighter, holding everything lighter. And I think I just want to check in. And I can be very patient. If what I need to do is just keep showing up and keep doing this, then that's what I'll do.
Don't have patience though. Patience works in time.
Right? Okay.
Don't be patient. Just be here now with what is, whatever that is, right?
Okay. I think I understand what you just said. So I've been contemplating, can the seer be seen? And I'm into like the 60s, day 60 something. And I don't seem to have a problem. That is, I see myself with eyes open and all the relative apparent 10,000 things. You said something about being able to know that it's awareness watching itself. That is not my direct experience until I trace my way back. So I understand perception is happening, but I don't say, oh, well, then I'm seeing through these eyes. I say, okay, seeing is happening. And what I seem to be seeing in a room, for example, seem to be distinct objects. But when I go there, that isn't even true.
Yeah.
So after a while, you said, you know this. For me, it's step. I have to go back. trace my way back to I am the infinite
Is that
formless.
is that
Yes.
stepping backwards happening to you?
Uh,
Let's check in with awareness right now, and everyone can do this. Awareness is here, right?
yes.
Are you aware right now?
Yes. Yes.
Is awareness stepping backwards and forwards?
Awareness is doing nothing. Awareness is.
Can this process of having to step back be you?
No, but yet it's a process. It's a process. It
Happening to whom?
the apparent body mind is is wanting wanting to know myself as oneness with eyes open. I can I get that in meditation. I get that with eyes closed when I yes,
Let's do it
you
right
understand.
now, right? So right now you're looking at the device that you're attending this satsang on, and we can all do this together, right? Your eyes are looking at another object, and it seems like you're sitting in that chair looking at your phone or whatever it is,
Right.
right? It seems like you're there and the device is slightly, you're looking at it.
Right.
Where is the one that's seeing through your eyes? You know where your eyes are, where the perception's coming from, but where is the one that sees that?
In
You
the
know
background. In the background. It feels
background
like
where?
it
Where
feels like yeah, yeah. Okay. Where is that one
you
who
know what your
sees?
eyes are seeing?
Yes.
Where are you?
Here.
Where is that?
Here.
Where is here?
There's no referent, so I can't say where here is. There's here-ness.
Yeah.
There's no referent.
Is it between you and the body and the device? Behind the device? Behind the body? In front of? Up? Down? Below? All of the above? The real you? Where is it located?
So it's there's no divide. I mean, there's no divide. So
Yeah.
so do I am I answering from knowingness or am I answering I can only
It's
answer
not a
from
thought. You said there's no reference, right? You said it very
right.
quickly that I'm
Yes.
just here. There
Yeah.
wasn't a thought process, right? It wasn't a
No.
deduction.
Okay.
It was straight from awareness, straight from knowingness itself. I'm here.
Okay.
There's no reference point for me here. And I'm in front of, behind, around the device, my body, everything, right? There's no reference there.
Right.
No place
Right.
where I could point to myself here, here, here.
Right.
Knowingness
Okay.
came from the immediacy, right? That knowingness
I'm
came,
sorry. Say that again, please.
the
Oh, knowingness.
knowingness, yeah, or the recognition of awareness being not an object was immediate.
Yes. Yes.
Didn't take any walking backwards to get to it, stepping backwards.
Right. That is right. That is true.
No 52 stages to awakening, just
Right.
awareness is here. You
Right.
know that to me. If I ask you, is awareness here right now? Yes, it's this
Right.
looking and a seeing, but not with eyes, physical eyes at least. So what I'm pointing at here is this walking yourself back is happening in the mind, right?
Right.
And does
Mm-hmm.
awareness need to do that or even want to?
It does not, you said, I'm sorry, I keep dropping words. It does not need to do that, you said.
Well,
Okay.
you tell me, does awareness need to
No,
walk itself back to itself?
it does not. No, it knows itself, by being itself. I know that. I get that.
And so, with eyes open, is anything different for awareness than when eyes are closed?
No.
So, is this really a job that you can achieve? Awareness. I want things to be the same with my eyes open as they are when they're closed. It feels very convincing, right? It feels very
Hmm.
convincing. But actually, it's not so possible for you. Awareness is awareness. Whether there's a body present or a body absent, eyes open, closed, awake, asleep, dreaming, the body, all the same for awareness, right?
Yes,
Feel
yes,
some shift there inside as you recognize.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Our mind has 100,000 subtle ways
yes.
to engage in a process again.
Right. Absolutely. I'm
So you
so
think
glad I asked.
that's what
Yes,
needs to happen, but it doesn't, right?
right.
So even if your eyes are open and you're looking at what looks like objects, awareness is just here and everywhere, right?
Yes,
What does it
yes,
matter what your mind thinks you're looking at? Does it matter?
right. No, no, it does not matter.
There's the joy, right?
Yes, yes, fantastic.
Unemployed now, right? You're unemployed.
Woohoo!
Yes.
No,
Spiritually. Don't go
that's,
quitting our jobs. Yeah.
thank you.
Whenever there's
Thank
an
you. Thank you.
angst or a tension in there, it's usually because there's some job we're trying to achieve that we just don't need to do as awareness.
So subtle, so subtle
If you
until
always
until
come,
it's pointed out. Yeah.
yeah, and we always come back to the direct experience, awareness or silence, whatever we're calling it. What is it actually doing? Nothing at all. It's already as it is. And then show that to the problem that we seem to be having, and it will just fall down, you know? The problem, I mean, not the awareness.
Yes. There's no process. There's no process.
There might be a
I
little
am,
walking back goes on in the mind, but it's not so important, right? Awareness is aware, and you're already awareness. You could never not be awareness. And that's already so perfection and freedom in that, isn't there?
oh my gosh. So when you say permanent and last, when you say absolute, like I know,
Awareness knows itself, right?
that's that's because be, you can say that because you, Helen, know without equivocation, you are you are the self. And
Because I've
so
looked
as you deepen, yeah,
so many times, I've looked again and again and again and saw that I am just here as this, and anything else is fiction, right?
okay.
And you know it too, because you answered me immediately. Awareness is here and it's not doing anything. It has no reference point.
Yep,
It knows
yep,
itself totally. Didn't even have
yep.
to think, well, let me check it out.
No,
It knows itself. And when you talk like that, you're talking as awareness rather than talking as a mind that's trying to get somewhere.
right,
You can feel the difference in the body. That's what the body's there for. The body's going, this isn't true. It feels all kinds of icky. And then this is true. This feels amazing.
right,
It's always giving you the thumbs up or thumbs down.
right.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
If you're smiling and having fun, you're right on course,
I
usually.
like that.
Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
if you're not, maybe reconsider your course.
Okay.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you for bringing that forward because it's everyone's
Thank you so.
question, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay. Thanks.
Liesl?
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you so much for your feedback on the WhatsApp thread. I'm just sort of steeping in a lot of different things, and one of there's this model that has come, and I recognize that that's a seeming form, a seeming
That's
shape, but
okay, right? It's okay.
yeah, it seems to be helpful right now.
Mm.
And it seems to be relevant, but I don't know how relevant to this uh, desire for this. I want this deeper seeing that thoughts do not lead to actions. And so the model that came, shortly after retreat, and that has been sort of just sitting and steeping there. It's kind of a mathematical model because I have a background in physics, so oftentimes there's like these mathematical models that come, and it's kind of a limit equation that that basically, as form becomes subtler and subtler and subtler and subtler, you could say as form approaches the formlessness, the limit as form approaches the formlessness equals I am. So like in a limit equations, when something approaches something else, it can only approach it. It can never actually be like that other thing. So like, for instance, if you had like X approaches 0, you could only get like increasingly smaller, but you could never actually reach 0. And so this sense of, maybe it's an understanding of the purpose of form, that what is happening is we're experiencing either really dense form, which you could say is further away from formlessness, or subtler and subtler and subtler form, which you could say is maybe closer to formlessness, almost in an attempt to, approximate formlessness in form, although you can never actually truly do it. And so awareness is always before all of this, and watching, perceiving all of this. And so, for instance, in you, the seeming Helen body mind, there is a form of deep seeing has appeared, and that shape kind of sticks around. And so that is part of why, like, for you, these other denser forms no longer appear, because attention is often looking at this subtler form on a more continual basis. And then maybe for others of us that, are still in this seeming process, there's still the looking at denser forms, but the underlying perceivingness is always constant, whether there are really dense forms appearing or whether there are really, really, subtle forms, so subtle that they're almost formlessness appearing. And I don't know if this model is any good, if I should just scrap it, or for some reason it seems to be sticking around. So I just thought I would.
It seems like that, right? It seems like the thoughts, the emotions and the experiences are becoming ever finer, higher vibration, more and more subtle forms. And in a way, that describes the guna system, the three gunas, the three different types of energies, the very slow tamas of resistance and inertia, and then the rajas of doingness and passion and activity, and then finally sattva, which is harmony and peace and balance. And all of that is true on one level, but my experience, and that was what I experienced leading up to this deeper seeing, which is everything is just completely empty of substance. There's no sliding scale then of a dense and less dense forms and finally into formlessness. That was how it seemed to be for a long time. And the thoughts felt nicer, and felt very nice and fluffy, but eventually there was a seeing that dense or subtle form, very tangible or very almost intangible, they're still completely all made of intangibility, of formlessness. And the experience then is whatever the word for a constant experience is that we were trying to find a word in our WhatsApp community and our Sangha, for a constant experience. But the constant experience then of just awareness, not aware of anything, not even aware of myself looking like a form. Myself looking like a form is still just myself. And it just all kind of falls into that emptiness, awareness, silence, consciousness. And everything is, whatever your eyes and senses perceive, everything is experienced from that deep quietness where nothing at all is really going on. Even when everything is going on, it's still experienced as if nothing is going on. So what you've described is probably helpful and useful to help the mind understand. But eventually you'll find even that hard work, you'll just kind of want to, it's okay, it worked for a while, helped me for a while, but let me just rest in the only thing I can prove to be true, which is that awareness is here. I am awareness. And that's all there is, no matter what it appears to be. Awareness is the only thing that exists. And it can look like a lot of things in disguise. But my mind always wanted to have some way to understand. Even after there was a deep resting as awareness, my mind was still trying to, yeah, but wait a minute, yeah, but for a little while it did that, and it would come up with these analogies and ideas, and um, it sounds like your mind is doing the exact same thing, and it's all good. It will just do that for as long as it does that. But the peace and the quietness is underneath that, right? Not touched by anything that happens in the mind.
Do you have any recommendations on seeing? I mean, of course, if you, I guess in the seeing that everything is emptiness, then I guess this would be seen. But uh, a seeing before that of how to truly see that thoughts do not lead to actions.
Yeah. Right now you can experience yourself as this formless emptiness, right? And there's only one formless emptiness. There's not two things. If thoughts led to actions, they would have to be two things, a thought causing an action. And we can prove in our direct experience that there's only one thing, substanceless substance. Another way to prove it is plenty of times the body is moved without a thought precipitating it. And plenty of times a thought has happened and the body hasn't moved. I mean, if literally every thought we had led to an action, we'd all be in trouble, big trouble, right? So you can play with it on the physical level as well. If I need to use the bathroom, I don't think about that. The body just gets up and goes, right? There's no thought causing it. And on the level of reality, so to speak, there's just this one essence. And even if it showed up as a thought and an action, it would still be the same. We could call them thought and action, but they're really just essence and essence, emptiness and emptiness, formlessness and formlessness. Nothing can cause anything because it's all made of the same stuff. For cause and effect to be true, you have to have one thing causing something else.
But if there's if there's an apparent shape, does can it influence the apparent shape of another shape? Like, for instance, do certain
It has already come in the
shapes go
manifestation.
together?
Whatever has already appeared in manifestation, you're more likely to get more of that vibration because of the vibrational nature of the universe, the physicality of the universe. Um, but it's still not cause and effect because um, it's all made of the same thing. If I have fearful thoughts and have a fearful experience, the thoughts didn't cause that. And we say that the thoughts are the experience is the reflection of those thoughts, but really what's in the mirror image, the reflection, and what's standing in front of the mirror, they're exactly the same thing, looking two different ways. The self, the infinite self, shows up as a thought, apparently, and an action. And the mind is looking to try to explain why everything is happening. So it's constantly trying to find the cause for everything. And it concludes that thoughts cause actions, but they really don't. If they did, then every awakened being would suddenly stop, drop their body, and disappear the moment the mind stopped thinking. We'd forget to breathe, blink, all of that stuff, right? Every time we fall asleep at nighttime when the mind stops, same thing, the body would die because we forget to breathe. And all the actions that are going on, you just catch yourself during the day, the things that the body is doing. It's like, I didn't actually think this is what I want to do. It's just happening. Just just that curiosity to see it deeper, yeah. And it will just slot into place. No struggling with it. Mind might, but not you, yeah.
Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you. Sophie, when you're ready.
Hello, my friend.
Hi.
Lovely to be here.
Wonderful.
Um, hmm, I'm feeling like there's two things floating around. I'm feeling like, could we do just a basic self-inquiry together?
Yes, 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 yes.
Because I feel like I can really overcomplicate things, and let's just do basics.
I love it when somebody asks me that question, yeah. What do you find when you look for yourself? Everyone can do this with us. What are you?
What do I find when I look for myself? There are feeling senses,
Yeah.
hearing, dark, empty space. And there's this thought that there is something here that's could equate with being heavy and just
Yeah.
and like powerful and non-expressive.
What you've described there is what you're seeing, what you're perceiving, right? What you're experiencing. Tell me about the perceiver, the one that sees those things. Because you see them, you know somehow all that's there, right? Tell me about you. What can you tell me about you? All those things are fine, but we want to just shift attention to what's noticing that. What are you? That which is noticing, what is it? That which is seeing. Notice how your body responds to that, right? You just had this huge,
Yeah, there is this like emotion coming up.
what is it that sees even this? Are you a form or are you formless?
Definitely formless, but I'm trying to make it into a form.
Just looking at that formlessness, is it trying to do anything? Something's scuttling around trying to do something, but is that you? What are you doing?
Nothing, just in the background or background.
Where does that background stop and the foreground start? Can you actually find it? It's a common assumption, but where are you, this formlessness? Bigger than the body?
Hmm.
Bigger than the room you're in, the body's in?
I don't even know what it is. It's just
But here is that simplicity you were looking for, right? Doesn't get any simpler than this. This that really is. So not fighting with any phenomenon that arises, even this thing that was trying to do something with the seeing. You're just noticing it and noticing what is noticing, right? You can use even that to point you back to this formless whatever it is that you are. If mind said, now you're going to lose this, or you have to keep this formless you sees even that thought, right?
and I feel like this is yeah, I fully I think it's like part of the is this good enough belief playing out sometimes of uh, it's not this, it's deeper than this, and it's more than this, or it's bigger than this, or quieter than
You
this. And I feel
explore with
like
me now again, this formless you. Explore it with me right
mm,
now. And tell me if you could ever get to the end of exploring this.
no.
And as you explore it with me, as you explore you with me here today, is it richer and deeper than it was last time you felt it, experienced yourself?
I feel it just gets richer and deeper
Yeah.
every, just always.
So we're just bringing this thought that mind gave us up to look at, is this enough? Is this it? Oh yeah, this is enough. This is really enough. This is never going to stop getting. And the paradox, of course, is that we're seeing the exact same nothingness that we are every time, but every time we can experience it in a deeper, richer, fuller way, a clearer seeing. And that still hasn't stopped for me. Every time I'm doing this kind of inquiry with anyone, it's deeper and richer, or or, inquiry on my own, so to speak.
Mm.
It will never stop, right? It's infinite, infinite ways to experience yourself, each one better than the previous.
Yeah.
So whatever mind says like that, it will say, yes, but, and it will give you some problem. And you just take that, go, thanks very much. Let me check that out against what I really am. It's actually, we've had so much programming that awakening is really hard and only a few beings manage it. That when we actually dive into and experience the emptiness of our being, mind says, yeah, but it can't be that simple and easy. But it really is, right? This is what you are. This is what you found when I asked you what was looking at the phenomena.
Yeah.
Still here, right? It's still here. You're still here as this.
And there was this thought of feeling into the simplicity and the beauty, and that, well, maybe just I'm not quite getting it fully. Maybe it's not as simple as this.
That's true for mind, but again, let's check out the real you. Are
Yeah.
you not getting it?
Oh, fully getting it.
You can't, it just is, right? It's fully here for itself, as itself, completely. 100%, that's all it can do.
And in the end of Transcending the Mind book, a lot of, I think through the examples, most of them are talking about just simply remembering the truth of what they are. There's like, they go back to the remembering, they get caught in a thought, just remembering. And it's that simple, right?
Yeah, it's always more delicious to come back to directly experiencing.
Yeah.
Thought, remembering is cheap compared to this, right? It's like, let me just be this.
Yeah.
Feels so nice. Yeah. And it's the simplicity that we're all craving. It's just this. And it just gets clearer and clearer. This is what I've always been. And I could never be anything other than this. And then it's clearer and clearer that this is what everything is. And there is nothing other than this.
Yeah.
It's all just, all the forms in the universe are just different ways this you are appearing, right? It's all just your many disguises.
Yeah.
You can show up as fear, hatred, joy, love, rain, snow, mountains, trees, human beings, all of it, even as mind that's trying to do something with this seeing.
Yeah. And I feel that really speaks to the sense of not good enough or being good enough, because it's like that's sort of takes over things to overcomplicate, to be better. And it's like, it's okay, my friend. Chill.
I'm just showing up as unworthiness today. That's the way I'm going to show up today. Unworthiness and a house and the laptop and the body and whatever else I'm showing up as, right? We don't need to fix it from there. It's just, the form I'm making. And just always making your anchor point, pitching your tent in the simplicity. I'm going to live in the simplicity as the simplicity. I'm going to keep coming back again and again and again and again and again and experiencing this, this, this. Somehow you forget how to think in any other way then at some point. It just falls away while you're not looking.
Yeah.
You're just
I,
busy being yourself.
yeah. I'm starting to see that. It's starting to permeate more with the thought storms. So yeah,
Yeah.
thank
And
you.
everything becomes beautiful, even the thought storm. Look at, I can show up even like this insanity between my ears. I can show up like this. Might not be fun yet, but it will be at some point. It's always coming back to this simplicity. It's like a reset and a refresh, right?
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, it's kind of often a real journey in my imagination then, and let me just hit the reset. Yeah,
Yeah. Beautiful. Thank
thank
you.
you. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, last but not least is Melanie.
Hi, Helen.
Hi, love.
I'm loving what you were saying today, and also in the notice the sense of being.
Mhm.
Um, I just don't understand though, on the meditation when you kind of say being instead of becoming. I understand that. But then when you say let your mind, your body, your life do the becoming,
Hmm.
it's like, how do they do the becoming? How does my body, mind, and life do the becoming?
Well, really, they don't. It just appears that there's some deepening and changing going on, right? The the way that awareness is appearing as all of this, or beingness is appearing as all of this, it seems to be unfolding and deepening. My life seems to be gradually getting better over, deeper and richer and fuller. Um, but really, they are just thoughts about doing and becoming, not really actually becoming. All that's happening is the shapes that you're making as beingness are changing. Not enough of something, you start to show up as more than enough of something. Peace or money or life force, whatever it is, right? But that's just happening by itself in reality. It's
Okay.
just a verbal thing that teachers might say just to kind of detach yourself a little bit from thinking that we're moving towards something and just allowing us to rest more and recognize the beingness itself, that it isn't achieving anything, nor does it need to.
Okay. Thank you. And then when you say you just being here with me, I'm actually kind of thinking when I'm in that being state, that all is just one, right? I wouldn't see you. I mean, when you said being here with me, you meant me, Helen, or being here with me?
Me,
What?
you, me, you. Yeah. If you're being with yourself, if you're being yourself, the beingness, then that is me also, right? I
Oh,
am
right.
you and
So I
me.
wouldn't be seeing that I'm with Helen. I'm being here with me, which is one, because there wouldn't be a Helen and a me. I
It's
mean,
one of
there
those
wouldn't.
instructions we can take on many levels. It might just be if we're starting out in our satsang, we might just go, right, be here with me, just chill out, don't try to get anywhere while you're just doing this meditation. Let's all just sit together and be in this Zoom meeting. And that's true, we can just hang out. And then deeper, it's like actually be here with me. Well, that's just being myself, isn't it? That's just being the beingness.
I love it. Okay. Thank you very much.
I can tell you're really deepening. I can see that. Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
wonderful. Thank you. Okay, that's powerful questions and sharings and inquiry, and just absolutely loved being here with you all this evening, and yeah, a richer and deeper seeing of who we always are and could never not be. And if you're listening to this thinking, I don't get it, I don't get what they're experiencing, I'm not having the same experience, can you just softly intend and notice that within you that wants to really try to get somewhere, wants to have the same experience? Just notice it. Just notice it. Don't engage with it. Let it rise up, this energy, let it rise, and it will dissipate. And underneath, when it dissipates, underneath there'll be even greater peace and a clearer seeing underneath. What we normally do as human beings is, I want the same experience, and I'm going to try to make it happen. I'm going to grab this energy and use it for something. So just watching what comes up, just watching, just watching, just watching, and it will expand this energy and then it will dissipate, and you'll find um, naturally more peace underneath that. So thank you, namaste.
I'm going to yell.